You are going to check your phone in the next few minutes. You probably do not need to. Nothing new has likely happened. But you are going to reach for it anyway, unlock it, glance at the screen, and put it back down. Then you will do it again. You tell yourself this is a discipline problem. You tell yourself you are addicted, weak, distracted. You promise you will do better tomorrow. But the real answer is far stranger. Your phone did not hijack a broken brain. It hijacked a perfectly healthy one, built for a world that stopped existing a long time ago. To understand why, go back to a forest floor, roughly 2 million years ago. Early humans spent most of their waking hours foraging, walking, scanning, searching. Food was not guaranteed. A patch of berries might be there today and gone tomorrow. A watering hole might be full or dry. Survival depended on constantly checking your environment for new information, because new information sometimes meant the difference between eating and starving. Somewhere deep in that pressure, evolution built a circuit for it. Scientists call it the seeking system. It runs through the same reward pathways that produce dopamine, and its entire job is to drive you toward exploring, searching, checking. Here is the part that matters most. The seeking system does not reward you for finding something. It rewards you for looking. Dopamine spikes are not really about the reward itself. They spike hardest in the moment, right before you find out, not after. The wanting is the whole point. The checking is the reward. What you actually find is almost secondary. So what happens when you pick up your phone? You are activating exactly this ancient circuit, except now, instead of scanning a forest for berries, you are scanning a screen for messages, likes, notifications. Your seeking system cannot tell the difference. It does not know the difference between a ripe fruit and a red notification badge. Both register as the same thing. Both say, check here, something might be new. Decades ago, in a lab full of pigeons, researchers discovered something crucial about this kind of checking behavior. A reward given on a random, unpredictable schedule produced far more repeated behavior than a reward given every single time. Predictable rewards get checked occasionally. Unpredictable rewards get checked constantly, obsessively, almost compulsively. Your phone is built on exactly this principle. Sometimes you check it and there is nothing. Sometimes there is a message you wanted. Sometimes there is nothing important, but the notification badge still glows red. You never know which one it will be until you look. This unpredictability is not an accident of design. It is the entire design. Think about the last time you pulled open a social app. There was no natural end to the feed, no bottom of the page, no moment where the environment told you, stop, there is nothing left here. In the wild, a forager eventually reached the edge of the berry patch. There was a natural stopping point built into the landscape itself. Your phone removed the edges of the landscape. The feed simply continues, refreshing itself the moment you reach what used to be the end. Somewhere, a small red circle with a number in it sits on an icon, and your brain reads that number the same way it once read a rustle in the bushes. Something is there. Go check it. Which raises an uncomfortable question. If this feels compulsive, does that mean something is wrong with you? Not exactly. It means something is working exactly as your brain was built to respond. For nearly all of human history, checking your environment cost effort. You had to walk somewhere, look somewhere, wait for something. That effort acted as a natural limiter. You could not check the world infinitely because checking took time and energy your body needed for other things. Your phone removed that limiter entirely. Checking now costs almost nothing. A flick of the thumb, a glance down. The ancient reward circuit still fires exactly as it always did, but the cost that used to regulate it has vanished. There is something else happening underneath this, something slower and easier to miss. Every time the seeking system fires without a real payoff, your baseline shifts slightly. A small check that finds nothing does not feel neutral. It leaves behind a tiny, almost invisible restlessness, the same low-grade itch a forager might have felt after checking an empty berry bush. Do it enough times a day, every day for years, and that restlessness becomes background noise. Some researchers now describe this as a kind of tolerance, similar to what happens with substances that repeatedly trigger dopamine release. The bar for what counts as stimulating quietly rises. Ordinary moments, a quiet room, a slow conversation, a walk without your phone, start to feel unusually boring, not because they became less interesting, but because your baseline expectation moved. This is why silence can suddenly feel uncomfortable in a way it likely did not a decade ago. Your brain is not misbehaving, it is recalibrated. There is a second layer to this, and it goes even deeper than food. Humans did not just evolve to scan for berries, they evolved to scan for each other. Who is talking about me? Who noticed me? Who needs something from me? For most of human history, this kind of social monitoring happened face to face, in small groups, with real consequences and real limits. You could only be judged, praised, or gossiped about by the handful of people physically around you. Now that same social monitoring circuit gets triggered by a small glowing rectangle in your pocket, dozens or hundreds of times a day, completely disconnected from the small tribe it evolved to track. A stranger's comment on a photo you posted feels, to this ancient circuitry, disturbingly similar to a member of your tribe reacting to you in person. Your nervous system does not fully know the difference between the two, and it responds to both with the same mixture of anticipation and vigilance. This is also why a single notification can derail an entire afternoon. It is not really about the content of the message, it is about the unresolved social signal sitting in your pocket, quietly asking to be checked. The people who design these apps understand this circuitry extremely well, sometimes better than the people using them do. Infinite scrolls, unpredictable rewards, small red badges, the tiny dopamine hit of a like or a reply, none of these are accidents. They are the direct, deliberate application of exactly the psychology described so far, refined over more than a decade of testing to keep the seeking system firing as often as possible. None of that makes you naive for falling for it. It makes you human. The pull you feel is not a personal failing being exploited. It is a 2 million-year-old survival mechanism being triggered by machines that were engineered, quite precisely, to never stop triggering it. So the next time you catch yourself reaching for your phone with no particular reason, no message you are expecting, no task you meant to do, consider this. You are not weak. You are not undisciplined. You are a 2 million-year-old foraging brain doing exactly the job it was built to do in an environment engineered specifically to keep that job running forever. The forest is gone, the berries are gone, but the part of you that keeps scanning for them never got the message. Tonight, when you feel your hand drift toward your phone for the 10th time in an hour, you might not be failing at self-control. You might just be a very old kind of animal, still looking for fruit in a screen that was built to never stop offering it.